Hey guys, and welcome to episode 6 of Surgan's Feed the Beast Season 3 Let's Play. I'm looking around my base, and I feel a little cramped. So I think the first thing that I'd like to do is expand today. And just because I think I'm going to go out this direction. So let's go ahead and open up this wall right here. Oh, look at that. Our base is so much bigger now. It's almost like I was ready for that. And down here, I did some digging as well. So you can see where the floor is upstairs. And this is way bigger. And it's because, if a lot of our power generation and stuff like that's going to, machines and everything else are probably going to be down here. Now, last episode, we left off. And I was letting this run. And if we look now, I got too much junk in my inventory already. If we look now, we can see that it's storing a good amount of energy, but that doesn't last long in the extractor. So it took me all night to get everything processed, but I did get everything processed. It took a long time. That's why I had this set up the way that I did, and I kind of want to expand now that we have, more power generation. And I went ahead and magnetized this even more, just seeing if it would make any effect. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to add a second AC electric engine. So I have two options. The first one is add a second AC electric engine. The second thing I could do is instead I could do the hydrokinetic engines, which produce a lot more power, but it takes a little bit more setup because the way that these works is basically you drop water on them, and they're not as hard to build. So we could go do those, but I don't know if I want them right next to my base. So let's see if we can find a good place for them outside somewhere. Because the thing is I really need to go up 64. I need to drop 64 blocks of water on them. Like 64 blocks up needs to drop. So I'm not sure that I really want to do that just yet. Yeah, let's do another AC engine for right now. Ooh, this needs to be lit up. So gold like this. The core there, the coil, shaft unit, redstone, and two base plates. So now I have a second AC electric engine. Now, I can't just hook these together like I did the DC electric engines, and the reason is because you see the speed there. The speed keeps fluctuating. And remember how when we turned off our DC electric engines, if we connect them with a shaft junction and the speeds are different, it will start grinding, right? Now, when we were turning off the DC electric engines, it wasn't such a big deal because it was only for a short time. But if I leave these running, then it's going to be basically permanently. So there's one other item or block that we want to put in line, and that's going to be a flywheel. Now in this case, I could make stone or I could make wood, but I think I'm going to go with an iron flywheel. So I'm going to need a gear and some iron to make a flywheel core, and then just basically a mount. Well, the mount's easy enough to make. There's our mount. And I'm going to need 2 of them, so I might as well get that made. So we have 2 of those. And I don't have any gears, that's fine. So let's go ahead and make 1 set of gears. So now we just need a little bit of iron. And you can see here we have quite a bit now. And if I take the iron and 2 gears. So now I have 2 iron flywheels and 2 mounts. If I go and throw those in here, then I get some iron, an iron flywheel. Now what the flywheels do is basically they regulate the power. They will keep spinning at the same speed even though the engine is alternating. Let's see how this is doing. You know what? How much energy is left in here? Yeah, that's still quite a bit. Let me go ahead and turn this off. And that should be fine. Yeah, 53 is plenty. So let's put away the stuff we don't need. We do need the shaft core for our second AC engine. We need our 2 flywheels. We are going to need the shaft junction. We're not going to need those. And I don't really need any of those. Okay, and I actually, because of the fact that I expanded, I don't want everything right here. And okay, got everything back. Where I actually want it is right here. And the reason is because I want to kind of use this wall upstairs for my machines. So the power generation I'm going to do down here. So let's see if we can get this set up the way that I want it. We're going to need to first, let's go ahead and put down our shaft junction. Right, that's where the power is going to converge. So that's probably the good starting point there. Okay, let's turn it this way. Actually, since I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to move it a little bit. And put it right here. There we go. So what we can do is we can put 1 AC engine here and 1 AC engine here. Now the reason that I left the space is because I want to put my flywheels there. And here and here. Wait, why are you turning? Why is it turning? These aren't even moving. This should not be turning. Okay, there we go. So we want the output to go this way. And output this way. Okay, that's right. I'm not sure why it's still turning, but that's okay. We're dealing with that. Now, what I'd like to do is get the same setup that I had with the redstone clocks here and here. And let me just make sure that those are... Yep. Looks like they're doing pretty good on the timing there. Because I kind of want it to be pretty consistent. And throw down our coil here. Okay, so that'll start generating us power. Now, one last thing I'm gonna need is a little bit of redstone, a couple of smooth stone, and a torch. A redstone torch. What I'd like to do is make another repeater. Actually, let's do something a little different. Instead of a redstone repeater, let me grab my iron, and if I take iron like that and put redstone, is it the other way around? Redstone, or iron, and then redstone around it. There we go. That gets us the red iron compound, and if we smelt that up, which I think I'm going to need a couple of these, and what that'll get us is red alloy ingot, which is part of Project Red Core. Anybody that's played Feed the Beast for quite a while knows about red power should be familiar with these. And if we take them and put them in a line, we will get red alloy wire. Now, what that is basically it's redstone that you can put in different directions. You can put it on a wall, you can put it on the floor, you can put it on a ceiling if you want. And as far as I understand, it does not lose its it does not lose any signal strength. So what we should be able to do now is throw one core in there, one core in there, and then these should start running. Why are you not running? There we go. Now, what's happening is, even though these are fluctuating in their speed, the flywheels should stay constant. For the most part. And what that'll do is that allows the shaft junction to accept them. And this is turned wrong. There we go. So now basically we're inputting twice as much power. So this will speed up a lot faster now. Okay, so now that we have that covered, let's start moving some of this stuff upstairs. Okay, over here along this wall, I'd like to put the extractor. That's probably all outside. And I think I'd like it somewhere around here. Unwelcome guests. And remember, I'd said these ender lilies take forever. They're still growing. This is what they start to look like when they're getting close. Now, if you stand on them, they do hurt, so be careful of that. Let's see about right here. Actually, let's do closer to the wall. Okay, so right here is right up against the wall. That's fine. I can do that. So we'll put this here. I do need water to come into it. So we'll put water outside. Yeah, that'll work. Remember, power needs to come in from the bottom. So that'll let me see downstairs where the power should be coming in. And if we go outside, we should be able to grab a bucket and set up the water. So inventory gets full really quickly. So there we go. That should start pumping water in. Let's see, make sure it drains a little bit. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So now we have water. We just need to get the power up there. And I can reset that up off camera. But there's one other thing that I haven't shown you. Okay. There's one other item that I haven't shown that is going to allow us to transfer the power. Let's put this bevel gear down here. So we want it to input into the purple and output into the blue. So just like that. But we need to get the power to here, right? And what I'd like to do is I actually want to pick this up and put one of the dynamiters in line here. I like to do that because then I can see what the power is looking like. So there we go. We can go ahead and put this here. And that should still, yep, it's still storing up power. And then what we need now is these here, the shafts. And I'm just going to use steel because I have a bunch and it's easy for me to use steel. And really easy. We just need shafts. And in this case, I'm going to make 2 of them. 2 sets. Let me see if I have any others. I do have 1 base plate. And I think that's all I'm going to need from there. So let's make another set of base plates. So that will get us 4. And a few more. And that'll get us 7 mounts. And put them all together here, and we should have a couple of shafts. It's not going to let me shift click. So now these mounts, basically it's just a straight. It just lets power go in a straight line. And so I should be able to do just like, actually I think I need to break those. Let's try that again. Now remember, the power output faces the same way that you face, so looks like I'm going to need 1 more shaft. But I'm kind of getting this bug where, if you notice, my bottom bar disappeared. So I'm going to have to relog, and I'll be right back. So I have everything hooked up now, except this still needs a redstone signal in order to output its power, right? The industrial coil. And you can see we're really cranking up the power now. That's going to be really good when I go to do ores later. But I don't want to put a lever down here and have to run down here every time I want to turn it on to use it up there. So I made a little bit more red alloy wire, and what I can do is run this right here. And because these transfer pipes are considered multi-parts, it allows these red alloy wires to take up the same block. And let's go upstairs. Let's break this one here. Go around. I know that looks kind of funky, but it works. I'll go ahead and put cobblestone back right here. And we don't need this one here. Where? Oh, the dirt must have fell down. So if I put my lever right here, and I'll show you what we can do to cover that up, because that doesn't look very good. So if we go to the mod, the red power here, and I want to do, I believe it's in the exploration. Yeah, right here. I want to do a saw. Right, so I can make a golden saw. I can make a ruby saw if I had some rubies. Let's see, I think I have some paradots. So let's make a peridot saw. So we need 2 sticks and 2 stone sticks. Well, stone sticks are 2 pieces of stone. And I have 1. So there's 1 more, 2 paradots, and I got some sticks. Easy enough. So it makes 2 stone sticks, 2 regular sticks, and 2 paradots. And I have a peridot saw. Grab 1 piece of stone here, and I'd like to cut it into slabs. Cut those slabs into panels, and cut the panels into covers. Now there's a couple different ways that you can cut these. Let me grab another piece of stone here. You can cut them top down, and you get slabs that way. You can cut them this way. Actually, I think to start you can only cut this way. So you can take your slabs, and you can cut your slabs sideways to get pillars, or you can cut them this way to make panels. And basically it's just cutting them in half, giving you half of the item. So you can see here we can place them different ways, and it's really nice. So what I can do is I can place just like that. There's one other thing that we can do with these, and let me just get a couple more. So I have panels, covers, and I can take the covers, and if I put them like this, it'll give me hollow covers. Now what the hollow covers do is the same thing as the regular covers, only they leave a hole. So what we can do is put them right, if I can get it angled right. Let's see. Is it not going to let me? You know what, let's pick this up, see if that helps. Right. Let's see if I can get it right there. So now we have a cover with a hole in it. So that'll allow that pipe to still come through. And then if we put our extractor back down, right here, so now that still connects, it still provides water, but it doesn't look bad. So now, because of the wiring that I have, if I go and I throw some ore in here, I should be able to flip this switch and it turns on the power that's downstairs. So this will go through, and it will go through all of the steps, and when I'm done, I just flip the power off. Easy as that. Now, I've been turning all of my metal into flakes with the extractor, which is getting me a lot of metal. But I'm still having to use coal in the furnace here to cook it, and I'm not keen on that either. So I think now is a good time to get into thermal expansion. So the first thing that I'd like from thermal expansion is to make a redstone furnace. So I'm going to need some bricks, a machine frame, some copper, looks like a little bit of gold. Let me cook up some bricks, and I'm going to get everything together, and I'll show you how we're going to put it all together. Okay, so I should have everything I need now, and it's basically base materials. You have a little bit of iron, I made up some steel, redstone, I have some lead, silver, gold, glass, and some bricks. I did run these through the extractor, and out of the 6 copper, I had gotten 40 flakes. So that's pretty good. With the tin, I only had 2 tin ore, and I got 13. Okay, so let's make the redstone furnace here. I'm going to need a machine block, a redstone reception coil, so let's go ahead and make just one of those. And machine block. Make one. And do I not have enough for a second one? Maybe I don't need a second one right now. Okay, so we have the machine frame. So let's see, we should have everything we need except for the copper, of course. And because I have so little of this copper, I'm going to grab that one first. So let's make our furnace. So now we have a redstone furnace, and I'm going to put it over here because I think I'm going to put my thermal expansion stuff on this side. And if we plop it down, you can see it takes power, and it can smelt things, and it outputs them here. And there's a couple different tabs on this interface. One shows the power, how much power usage, the maximum power it needs to run at full efficiency, and how much it has stored. And RF is redstone flux. It's the power specific to thermal expansion. Then we can go to our redstone control here, and we can see you can tell it to ignore a redstone signal completely. You can tell it only run if it does not receive a redstone signal. That's what that low means. And only run if it receives a high redstone signal. So basically like a lever or a redstone torch means it has to have redstone signal. In this case, I'm going to leave it disabled. And then the last tab here shows inputs and outputs. This is the front. This here is, think of this like origami, right? If you fold this, then it would fold in the shape of a block, just like this. And so this is the front here, this is the top, this is the left, right, bottom, and this is the back. And if you shift click on the center, you can clear it completely. And the way that these work is blue, obviously right here, blue is the input. Orange means it's the output. So you can set it to whatever side you want. Say I wanted the top to be the input, say if I wanted to put like a hopper or something on top, and then I wanted it to output to the right side, right there. Right now, I don't have anything set up for it, so I'm just going to leave it all turned off. Now we have to worry about the power generation. Well, there's a couple things that we can do. We can use a steam dynamo. We can use three different kinds of dynamos. We can use a steam dynamo, and if you hold shift, it shows you it generates energy, redstone flux, with water and solid fuel. So I'm still using coal, but not nearly as much. We can also do the magmatic, which will run off of hot fluids, mainly lava. And then we can also use the compression dynamo, which requires fluid fuel and coolant. And in this case, coolant would be like water. I'm going to start with the steam dynamo. It's the easiest to make, it's the easiest to use right now. So we're going to need a couple of things. We're going to need a couple of copper, 2 copper gears, which is just iron and copper. Well, that's easy enough, if I had enough copper. So 2 copper gears, which is 2 iron and 2 copper. We're going to need 3 pieces of copper, some redstone, and silver. So a redstone transmission coil, which is silver, and 2 pieces of redstone. So I did happen to grab a little bit of silver. And here we go. So I should be able to just throw this all together, and I have a steam dynamo. Now, I could hook this directly to the redstone furnace, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to need some way to transfer the power. And in this case, you have multiple levels of cabling. You have the leadstone, the hardened, and the redstone. And if you hold shift, you can see they transfer different rates of energy. Well, that machine only uses 20 RF, so 80 RF is just fine. So let's make a couple of these. And that just requires lead, glass, and some redstone. And for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and make a whole bunch. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to come down here. Whoops. There we go. And I want to get a transfer node, some transfer pipes, because I need to pump water into it. And I want to turn that into a liquid transfer node. So I'm going to have to go back to extra utilities here, and liquid transfer node, I need a bucket, some iron, and some lapis. Bucket, I already have the iron, and 2 lapis. There we go. So, now I'm just going to need some water. Let me out. And let's go downstairs and set it up. So, because I'm going to set up my machines right here, I think I'd like to put the dynamos right here. So, let's dig out a little bit of area here just for the water. I'm going to go grab another bucket and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have this set up here, and this is intaking water and it's waiting for a place to put it. Now, there's a trick to setting these dynamos down. First thing you want to do is put down your energy conduit and then put your dynamo down. So that way it faces that conduit. The other way to do it is if I had a crescent hammer, but I have not made one of those yet. So I'm just going to do it this way for right now. Now I'm going to go this direction because I'm going to put one more dynamo eventually right there. And I think if we go up here, our machine should be right, oh, it's one more over. So let's make our way up here, and we want power to go into this machine. So the easiest way to do that is to just have it run right here. So I'm going to put it there and come down one. Make the corner here and straight down and out. So now this has its water, and all we have to do is give it a little bit of coal. It's going to build up some steam, and then we should start seeing some power generation. Now right now it is outputting its power because these machines have an internal buffer. So if we look here, we can see that it's starting to fill up. And what will happen is after that's filled, it will go ahead and fill up this buffer here. And then from there, it'll just cut down how much steam or how much coal it starts using. Now it'll continue to use coal, whether it's outputting power or not, but it's not going to use up anywhere near as much coal as we were with our furnace. Now, right now, cooking up our ores is still a little manual, right? We have to throw our ores in the extractor, flip the lever, wait for them to finish. But now we can come over here, and I don't have to worry about using coal. I can just throw them right into here, and it's going to cook them up. And you can see it cooks them a lot faster. And if I take a chest that I just happen to have and set this output to be to the right, plop the chest there, and there it goes. It's going to output everything that it cooks up right here. And like I said before, if I take a hopper, I can set the top to be input, throw the hopper there, and throw all my other stuff. So now it's going to cook everything up and spit it out in this chest. So this episode we expanded our base. I doubled the power for the extractor, so I don't have to wait as long to use it. And we also set up a little bit of thermal expansion. We're going to get more into thermal expansion next episode. And hope you guys enjoyed. And with that, I will see you guys later.